Safeguarding rights. ISF's role in preventing counterfeiting. Welcome back, customs brokers and importers. Today, we will delve into the crucial role of importer security filing, ISF, in preventing counterfeiting and intellectual property infringements. Counterfeit goods and intellectual property violations pose significant challenges to businesses and economies. Let's explore how ISF contributes to combating these issues and protecting intellectual property rights. Comprehensive data collection. ISF requires importers to provide detailed information about the cargo, including the description, quantity, and value of the goods. This data allows customs authorities to closely examine the characteristics of imported goods, helping identify potential counterfeiting or intellectual property infringement risks. Early risk assessment. ISF submissions are required well in advance of the goods' arrival. Customs authorities can leverage this early submission to conduct thorough risk assessments, identify high-risk shipments, and allocate resources accordingly. The early risk assessment helps target potential counterfeits or intellectual property infringements, enhancing preventive measures. Verification of authenticity. The data provided through ISF assists customs authorities in verifying the authenticity of imported goods. By cross-referencing the provided information with databases, manufacturers' records, or intellectual property rights registries, authorities can identify discrepancies, allowing for further scrutiny of suspicious shipments. Collaboration with rights holders. ISF encourages collaboration between customs authorities and intellectual property rights holders. Importers filing ISF have the opportunity to communicate with rights holders, sharing relevant information and enhancing the understanding of potential intellectual property infringements. This collaboration aids in detecting and preventing the entry of counterfeit goods. Specialized intellectual property teams. Some customs authorities have specialized intellectual property teams tasked with analyzing ISF data and detecting potential infringements. These teams are trained to identify patterns, trends, and specific indicators that may suggest counterfeiting or intellectual property violations. The teams leverage the data collected through ISF filings to enhance their identification efforts. Targeted inspections. ISF assists customs authorities in implementing more targeted inspections, focusing on shipments that carry a higher risk of counterfeiting or intellectual property infringements. By utilizing data from ISF filings, authorities can optimize their resources and streamline inspection processes while increasing the likelihood of detecting illicit goods. Collaborative interagency efforts. Customs authorities often collaborate with other agencies, such as intellectual property rights offices or law enforcement agencies, to address counterfeiting or intellectual property infringements. ISF data, combined with information and expertise from these agencies, strengthens interagency efforts to combat these issues. Enhanced enforcement actions. The data collected through ISF filings is an essential tool for customs authorities to initiate enforcement actions against counterfeit goods and intellectual property infringements. This data provides the necessary foundation for investigations, seizures, and legal proceedings, leading to the removal of infringing goods from circulation. Information exchange with international partners. ISF encourages information exchange and cooperation between customs authorities of different countries. Sharing ISF data with international partners strengthens efforts to combat counterfeiting and intellectual property infringements on a global scale. Cooperation between customs authorities facilitates the identification and prevention of infringing shipments at the earliest stage possible. Deterrence and intellectual property rights protection. ISF, by enabling effective risk assessment and targeted inspections, deters potential infringers and reinforces the protection of intellectual property rights. The increased scrutiny and enforcement actions create a deterrent effect, making it more challenging for counterfeiters to infiltrate markets and ensuring the continued protection of legitimate intellectual property owners. Conclusion. Importer security filing, ISF, plays a vital role in preventing counterfeiting and intellectual property infringements. By collecting comprehensive data, facilitating early risk assessment, verifying authenticity, enabling collaboration with rights holders, ensuring specialized intellectual property teams, promoting targeted inspections, facilitating interagency efforts, supporting enforcement actions, encouraging international information exchange, and acting as a deterrent, ISF strengthens efforts to combat these issues. Protecting intellectual property rights remains an important component of global trade, and ISF contributes significantly to this endeavor. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more insightful content on customs brokerage and international trade.